Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atmosphere of our world around us, and this time we will talk about the lessons one can learn from the such events like Warsaw Uprising that took place in August 1944. So today we have 81st anniversary of this uprising that erupted on the 1st of August, 5 p.m. of Central European time in Warsaw. And I do not want to say if it was justified or from military perspective had sense or not. This is for different discussions, but I only want to want to say from what one can learn from these events when we look at it from the perspective of nations that are living in Central or Eastern Europe. Of course, allies, especially British, pledged help to Polish government in exile, and this was one of the reasons why this order was done, and why this order later was executed to start the uprising in Warsaw. It was later it finished as it finished on the 2nd October 1944 in the bloodshed and so on. But okay, I'm not judging here, as I said. This is for different discussion. But what can we learn from it? Among many other things, we can learn that Western guarantees, especially Western European guarantees of safety for the nations like Poland or recently Ukraine, because 50 years after this uprising in 1994, Ukraine transferred its own nuclear missiles back to Russia, and they became with a state without nuclear power. They are not among nuclear powers anymore since that time, since 1994. Prime Minister of Ukraine of those days, Tymoshenko Julia, transferred these nukes to Russia, and we see that this was done within the treaty in which Western powers, especially European powers, promised some safety guarantees for Ukraine. And now we see that these safety guarantees, as it was in 1939, practically were empty words. So this we can learn from these events like Warsaw Uprising and before 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, who believed in British and French guarantees. We can learn that Western guarantees are only empty words for us, because we are used as a buffer zone between Russia and the West, so Germany, because Germans are treated as the full right members of the Western societies. We are not treated as equal partners for the Western Europeans. That's why they are using us, and we are always the objects that can be transferred and trade back to Russia if needed, if West is about to be in danger. And the same French and English can sell these states like Polish, Czech, Slovak, Ukraine to Germany if Germans want to expand towards east. What happened and is happening. So this is another reason why these nations like Poland, Ukraine, Czech, and all these nations, as I'm saying, the best would be pact between Norway, from Norway to Greece, should collaborate with each other and counterbalance Eastern and Western influences in our region. If we don't do it, and if we stay still divided, we will be still used and abused by Eastern and Western powers for their own interest, and we will never be independent, and we will be always betrayed, and we will be always given separately, all of us, empty guarantees of help and peace. If you know how to count on yourself, rely on yourself, and the neighbors you can collaborate with, because they have similar national interest as yours. Western Europe doesn't have any interest in defending nations in Central Europe, because they can be always a matter of trade between the West and East in terms of security. And they can always be given or taken back from the Russian bear, depending if it's strong or weak, saving many troubles to the West. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.